Hello and welcome to this video about the Kenwood L-1000D. Now don't think that it is just another Japanese CD player. It is one of the range topping ones, and it features all the goodies that are found in those things. As you can see, it's a magnetically driven mechanism with some things done, like a tray travel is done on that line, but this is geared line, so it's not just an ordinary belt. And it has some things taken from Sony. Well, the DAC is from Sony, one of the Sony proprietary DACs that's not commonly used. Well, I suppose it is. Some manufacturers from Japan are using it, but you got those voltage rails there in audio section, and in general it is a very high standard of build. Two transformers, probably for digital analog. If you look at the power supply, it is very, very elaborate. I've counted 20 voltage regulators, and well, it is extremely heavy. I was taking off that front panel because I wanted to look if there's something untoward going on at the front, and because one of the faults it has is that the display is intermittent, meaning when the player is cold it works fine, but when it warms up, as it has now, it's off. The player has sorry about that. I'll show you another fault because I've been talking through the tray action, so I'll shut up now and I'll show you a second fault. You see, it doesn't start, but if you nudge it just a tiny bit, it will read, and it reads instantaneously, and then it plays as if nothing happened. So but this is just, I'll play something nicer. Well, I got it. It was sitting in another workshop for 3 to 4 years, as they always told me. But the guy who actually, in whose workshop it was, told me that it has been found on the rubbish tip. Well, I find it hard to believe because it's in exceptionally good condition. I mean, normally those things are awfully dirty and scratched, and this is, well, maybe not like new, but pretty close. Well, there's a bit of oil there. So that, you see, is the second fault. I think that I can deal with by maybe cleaning that motor. I have no idea why it has this hesitance to start. Well, maybe somebody more experienced in motor servicing will tell me if I should just dunk it in a ultrasonic cleaner, or is there a better way of doing it? The other fault that it has, as you see, it started distorting. It will never distort on the inner track, but as we go further away to tracks that go away from the center of the disc, the distortion, like you can hear now, is more prevalent. Now, in here I'm thinking that maybe the motor is not really perpendicular to the tracks on which it travels. So as the head travels further away, the turntable is sort of lifts up the CD, and the distance becomes greater and greater. Because when you go to track 1 or 2, it reads without any distortion. So that's my early working diagnosis. Well, I'll see if that is true. And well, it didn't read this at all. I gave it a tune. It has a standard sort of like in a Sony or Sanyo setup there of 4 ports for focus, gain and bias, and same for tracking. So now it's sort of reads all right, at least at the beginning of the disc. So it is early days, but I have no experience with that at all. And if somebody else has and has any good pointers for me, well, feel free, and I'm very grateful if you tell me a tip or two in the comments. It appears to be a great player. I mean, balanced output there, and I looked at the diagram, and it's a proper balanced output. You know, it's not just reverse on op amps. It has, you know, separate channels for hot and cold, left and right, so the proper 4 channels there. So I'm pretty keen to get it going, because, you know, that's just, and you know, very good condition. It looks the part. It looks unlike any other player, and you know, good remote control and everything on it. So so my first thought is a display. Well, I don't know, maybe some voltages, maybe just voltages are going out. I'll have to measure them. I haven't done any of that as yet. So the second thing is, if you know why it doesn't read well away from the center of the disc, and how to clean the motor, maybe, or service the motor in some way. Well, so instead of me telling you the wisdom these days, I'm just asking questions. Well, thank you very much, and till the next one. Bye-bye.